All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thursday Night Football, week number 16 here in the NFL. We have the Chargers taking on the Denver Broncos. In today's video, I'm going to dive into this game. I'm going to give you my prediction on the side. I'll give you my prediction on the total. We'll talk about any other plays, like a few player prop spots that I'm liking as well in this video. But as always, guys, keep an eye down on the pinned comment. You'll be directed over to our final plays absolutely free. So I'm actually rolling with myself down in the pinned comment. Make sure to keep an eye on that. In terms of how we did last week, if we had a crazier cha-ching, I would drop it on the soundboard there. We had a phenomenal Thursday night. All of our biggest plays did cash, like that Cooper Kupp under 11.5 first quarter receiving yards. How many did he finish with in the game? Oh, right, goose egg. And then Sunday rolls around. Let's pump in some damn crowd noise. A 9-0 Sunday for your boy here. And then Monday Night Football, we profited 0.1 units as well. So, yeah, it wasn't the best there. It was a 2-2 night, but overall, still profit. Guys, I say it every week, and it seems like a broken record here, but we're now 15 weeks into the NFL, and only 3 weeks we've come out in the red. I don't know what we're doing right, what we did in the past life to be a good guy and whatnot, but we're getting damn lucky this year. So you know what? One more cha-ching there. Let's see if we can pull that momentum and bring it right here to this Thursday night football game. We have the Chargers hosting the Denver Broncos here. Chargers 3-point favorites at home. Total is sitting at 42. Now, before we do jump into this game, I did want to, obviously, week 16, we're getting to the end of the year, want to look at the playoff chances and whatnot for both of these teams. Chargers sitting at 8-6, Broncos sitting at 9-5. And you can see here, if either one of these teams wins this game, you're pretty much sealing your deal getting to the playoffs, right? Even if you do lose, so the Broncos lose, 85% chance to still make the playoffs, and then Chargers, they lose, 73% chance to make the playoffs. So both of these teams should be coming in here really, really wanting to win, but I will say, let's just know as viewing fans and as people that might be making plays on this game and wagering, neither one of these teams, it's like a win-or-go-home situation, okay? Again, if they win, they're pretty much punching their ticket, though, so I imagine both teams are going to care about this game just as much. But overall, like I said, we do have the Chargers who are sitting here at 8-6, which is a good record. They're 9-5 against the number here, 4-3 at home. Denver 9-5 straight up, but they're against the spread numbers this year are great. They're 11-3 so far this season. On the road in terms of covering, they've covered an 86, so 85.7% of their road games this year. So Denver has been on absolute fire. They've won 4 straight games, covered in 5 straight, covered in 8 of their last 10. A lot of good to say about Denver. Chargers 6-4. They've struggled as of late. Now you can look at that and be like, well, yeah, J.K. Dobbins goes out, and then the last 3 weeks without him, right? Atlanta, Kansas City, Tampa Bay. Their offense does not look the same. They went from scoring, 24 plus points a game to 17 3 weeks in a row against Atlanta, Kansas City, Tampa Bay. Kansas City being the only team out of Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and Kansas City that is a really good defense, right? Kansas City being that stout defense. Atlanta and Tampa Bay, surprisingly, Chargers weren't able to make much go against them. But let's go ahead and dive into, I guess, the quarterback matchup here, and then we'll get to our spread pick, our total pick, and then, like I said, I have a couple player props, I think 3, so a few player props to at least start us off with in this breakdown here. But overall, a couple things to note. We'll start with Justin Herbert versus the Denver defense here. So Justin Herbert, his stats are going to come in pretty crucial here. So what we have from Denver, and this is over the last 4 weeks, okay? I've kind of narrowed it down. We're late in the year, wanted to kind of small or shrink the sample size a little bit. So Denver is going to play a lot of zone, right? A lot of zone over man, at least over the last 4 weeks. And they do a lot of too high safety looks within those zone. And even when they do play man, a lot of too high safety looks. So we have that in the table here. They also are going to rush the quarterback really well. Second over the last 4 weeks here in pressure rate. They've been sacking the crap out of the quarterback this season. So important to note, pressure and then zone look, and then also too high zone look overall, okay? So what we have here is obviously Justin Herbert, 67.4% completion percentage on the year, 6.5 yards per attempt, success rate 43, accuracy 75, EPA 3.6, DVOA minus 17.3%, and then turnover worthy throw percentage at 1.2. Versus the pressure, he really really does struggle. The red indicate obviously soft spots there and bad looks for him. Against pressure, he's going to struggle, and this Denver team has been very, very much a apply the pressure type of a team this year. Even just on the entire season, forget the last 4 weeks, the number 1 sacks, the number 1 QB hits, and the number 1 team in quarterback hurry. So Justin Herbert probably will be feeling the pressure in this one. And I believe he was sacked 3 times in their earlier meeting, which the Chargers ended up winning that one 23-16. That was earlier in the year, October 13th. We can admit that Denver's been a lot better of a football team since then, right? But overall, you flip over to the right side of this table here, versus zone coverage, Justin Herbert looks really, really good. Against 2 high safety zone coverage, Justin Herbert looks even better. So yes, the pressure is going to be a problem, but if they can hold off that pressure and do somewhat on the offensive line and make sure that Justin Herbert is comfortable back there, I think that he could have a decent game. That's a lot of green. I know it starts with the pressure. I know it's going to be tough to contain, but just saying, we'll get into it. I do think that this could be, as long as they know their jobs and do their jobs, shout out Bill Belichick, we could see Justin Herbert with a clean pocket have a decent performance, right? Now, from the Bo Nix perspective, what we're going to see from this Chargers defense is not so much pressure, so we don't have that focused on, but they are going to play a ton of zone and a ton of 1 high safety looks, whether that's putting a safety and then having man underneath here or zone coverage with 1 high soft safety up top, right? Versus zone coverage, Bo Nix looks incredible. The minute you throw 1 safety in there and there's another guy sort of more in the middle of the field, Bo Nix starts to drop back down to earth. So overall, yes, we have that knock on Justin Herbert. We also have the greatness of Bo Nix against zone coverage. I think Justin Herbert may have the quarterback battle won here, just given the fact that, yeah, if they don't apply pressure, which even teams that apply incredible pressure like that, it's not for the majority of the game, right? If he has these spots without pressure, Justin Herbert should be able to torch it up, whereas Bo Nix is going to get zone all game long. Yes, that looks good, but this particular type of zone may give him some trouble, right? So I do think that we have a decent spot for Herbert, as long as the pressure isn't overwhelming. And Bo Nix, I could see some struggles. So in this one, I do think ultimately we have 2 very, very good defenses. I could see an under type of a game. We have the Chargers not really playing all that tremendously offensively. We have the Denver Broncos who are just absolutely on fire offensively. You know, their last few weeks here, 38 points, 29 points, 41 points, 31 points. They played Atlanta, Las Vegas, Cleveland, and Indianapolis in those 4 weeks. This is by far and away the best defense they've seen in a few weeks. So I think the Chargers can give them trouble. The one part of the ball that the Chargers don't seem to be struggling all that much on, and I know Tampa Bay put up 40 on them, but Tampa Bay's offense is also a very good offense. But I do think, you know, J.K. Dobbins aside and whatnot, we do see the Chargers still with a very, very good defense. So I think my first look here is an under. Now, this is not as stake my claim, and I'm so confident like I was last week in the Thursday Night Football under, right? That was a, like, everyone saying over, I like the under, and there wasn't a touchdown scored. People are in the comments giving me crap, and I'm like, let's just wait for the game to play out, and then I walk away like this, right? Like, we're wiping our hands clean. We absolutely called that right. I don't sit here and be like, oh my God, this is an absolute under. Because of how Denver's been playing, and given the fact that we're sitting at a 42 total. That's a lot lower than what we got the Rams and the 49ers at 50, right? So just keep that in mind. I still lean towards the under. I still do give a lot of the credit in this game to the defenses. Even Justin Herbert, I think that he could have a good game, but if they do get the pressure, I think that he could stink. Bo Nix, yes, he looks good against zone, but when you have that 1 high safety and whatnot, he's definitely going to struggle. And one thing I did actually want to mention too, it's going to come up when we talk about player props, but Bo Nix, I didn't mention, look at the turnover-worthy throw percentage. Just last 4 weeks, but whenever he's seeing 1 high safety, that turnover-worthy throw, which is essentially, it doesn't need to be a turnover, but it's deemed a throw that could have resulted in a turnover, right? Those numbers jump into the double digits, 10.5 when it's man, and then 15% against zone. So we could see Bo Nix, you know, be playing well, and then all of a sudden he has this blunder that it's like, oh boy, that just changed the course of the game. So first and foremost, I don't mind the under 42. When it comes to a spread pick, right? -3 is obviously an interesting number. You can actually get plus money on this right now over on Caesars, plus 105 for the -3. I do think I lean towards the Chargers. That being said, and I know people hate when I say this one could go either way, and I'm just being completely honest. I have a few player props that I love and that we might be locking in, so it's not like I'm trying to just be on the fence here, not give you anything, but this is obviously a really hot Denver team, and yes, those Bo Nix numbers don't look too favorable, But the dude's been playing well. The team's been playing well. The defense has been awesome. And the Chargers are injured, right? Ladd McConkey is questionable. I think he's pretty much good to go. Quentin Johnson questionable. Will Dissly questionable. Justin Herbert even is questionable. Now, I would expect these guys to play as they're limited in practice, but, this is obviously a team that's been riddled with injuries. Even throwing the fact that J.K. Dobbins, we already mentioned it, got injured. Like, that was a massive blow to this team's offense. All of a sudden, they become fairly one-dimensional. So, yeah, I get it if you're on the Denver side of things. I just kind of low-key, sneaky think Justin Herbert's in a better quarterback position here. So give me the Chargers minus the points as well as the under. I do have a couple player props that I want to dive into this one as well. But before we do, speaking of player props, guys, Sleeper's still offering a ridiculously good deal right now. For this game, whether you think it's a good situation or not, Justin Herbert has a .5 passing yards line for new users, and new users also get what I think may be their best deal ever for signups. Play 5, get 55 back. The way they're doing it, I believe you get 11 $5 free rolls, so free plays on their account, which is on your account on their app, which is absolutely awesome, guys. Go check out Sleeper. You get this Herbert free square, and you get the Play 5, get $55 promo as well. That link is going to be in the description as well as the pinned comment. Sign up using code GUYBOSTON if you want to go directly there. The link will auto-apply that, but go ahead and check out Sleeper. I'm not kidding. This is an amazing deal. I don't know how long they're going to run it for, but I would take advantage while you can. But let's go ahead and dive into a couple player props. So the first one probably shouldn't surprise many people. He hasn't thrown many as of late, but I don't mind Bo Nix over over .5 interceptions, so he needs to throw one. This is a fairly juiced line. Honestly, if you don't see this in the final plays, it's just because I didn't like how much juice we were paying. He's been playing well, right? Even when we look at it from a pass yards perspective, I guess we can exclude last week, but he's been crushing it. Denver's been crushing it. But he's thrown a lot of interceptions. 3 interceptions there against Indianapolis. Against Cleveland, he threw 2. Last time he played this Chargers team, which was, again, the beginning of the year, he did throw 1. And the Chargers, 4th most interceptions forced, 1 per game to the quarterback position. I like this spot for them. We're also causing the 9th most turnovers per game so far this year. And we already mentioned it, right? If we want to pop up that graphic again, we do see that Bo Nix struggles in a lot of the look that he's at least what I would project him to see. A lot of one high safeties, 10.5% turnover worthy throw, and then 15% turnover worthy throw against zone, which is the most likely situation. Like the most likely situation based on how the Chargers defense has been going is one high safety zone looks and 15% turnover worthy throw rate. Like that's a crazy, crazy high number, right? So yeah, I like Bo Nix to throw a pick. It is getting kind of juice, so that's kind of tough. The one thing that I would then go to, I guess 2 things. It's kind of the same theory, though. If we look at this game, right? Let's dig into this game, and you can see via Outlier. By the way, guys, use the link in the description as well as the pinned comment. 7 days free of the tool we're looking at here. It has the player props. You can search anything, right? And it also has game matchup. You can see trends and everything like that. But what I like is this team ranking spot. Look at what we can see about both defenses. So Denver's defense, the 2nd best red zone efficiency. The Chargers, just middle of the pack in terms of offensive red zone efficiency, right? You flip sides. Okay, well, Denver's red zone efficiencies offensively has been pretty good. But the Chargers, we said that Denver, right? Denver was the 2nd best. There's only one team better than Denver in terms of red zone efficiency this year in preventing touchdowns, and that is the Chargers. So what does that lead us to? Okay, well, I say screw it. Let's look at the kickers in this game. I know when we take kicker props, people in the comments are like, that's terrible. Why did I come here and watch this video just to get kicker props? It is what it is. I like both of these spots. We'll start it off with Dicker for the Chargers. I think because his number's at 7.5, I might look at his over 1.5 field goals made, especially if they don't have the running back. Like the minute we get into the red zone here, it could be stall situations for the Chargers. So I like his over 1.5 field goals made. I could consider the kicking points, but I like this number to be at 6.5 a lot more than, 7.5 there, because you can get two field goals and then 1 extra point and cash that 7. Head-to-head, he's crushed it. 2 straight games against them with 3 field goals made, kicking points 9 and 11, so I don't think you can go wrong either way. And I'm looking at Will Lutz, too, on the other side of things. Now, I might like his kicking points because it's at that 6.5, right? This means 2 field goals and an extra point, or 3 field goals, that type of thing. But I like the spot. He's hit it in 4 straight games. Last time he played them, he did not hit it, but he did have 10, a while back when he ended up playing them. That was last season. From a field goals made perspective, he only took 1 last time out. So he still hit 100%. The time before that, he did hit 3. On the season, hitting this in 50% of games. On the road, 57. His last last road game 5. So yeah, I do like both kickers in this spot. And again, it comes down to the idea that we have two good red zone defenses, and just throwing the fact that we talked about both of these quarterbacks. There's good and bads to take away. If the bads are kind of reigning true, I could see both these teams getting into the red zone and being like, whoa, we're not going to try and, turn the ball over, Bo Nix or Justin Herbert. We're not going to try and do anything crazy with you. And they play a little conservative and get those points, especially because this is estimated to be a defensive game, right? So to recap there, guys, I do think this can go either way. And I know people hate when I say it, but it's just me being honest. I'm not going to fake confidence for content. I would settle on the Chargers, though, minus 3 points, maybe 2.5. I think Justin Herbert could have a good game here, even though some front-facing numbers might not look all that great. I also don't mind the under. The only thing that can keep me off of that is given the fact that it's 42. I'd love this to be up at like the 46, which it never would be, but the 46, 45 range, something like that. I think last time they played, it was a 37 total, so we even got lucky with this 42. And then from a player prop perspective, Bo Nix, go throw me one interception, and then both kickers have somewhat of a day, right? I'm not exactly sure if we go field goals made or total kicking points. All that will be specified in the pinned comment. That link will take you to GuyBostonSports.com, absolutely free. The blog post will have all of my final plays. Very, very simple for you guys if you are interested in riding or doing the opposite and fading. But guys, go ahead and check that out. But yeah, if you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and comment 16. Truly do appreciate all of the support as of late. We had the main channel, which we're on now. Then we had to go to the more Guy Boston Sports, the second channel. Now we're back on the main. Like, you guys are troopers for going through all this. Me and the team, troopers as well with all the BS that we've been dealing with. But nonetheless, truly do appreciate it. So comment 16 if you made it this far. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.